I was like 12. I was in sixth standard. So I was going through YouTube on my sister's phone, and the next song that got in the recommendation list got played, and it was Lose Yourself by Eminem. So, like, it was something new to me at that time because I did not know anything about rap genre. But I vibed with it. It was like something cool. The journey started from that. I can say that the main inspiration behind my journey is Eminem.
When I started, nobody supported in the industry, nobody at all, and it was difficult to reach out to people even for collaboration. People along the way came in who were in support, but they were very difficult to find.
I want to, be the voice to the voiceless and not only sing about my own story, like, sing about those as well who don't want to come forward in this case and in this field. I want to be the voice of them as well.
With hip hop, what we do have is a voice that you have to listen to, So in that way, I feel like a breakthrough is a lot easier than in other industries, because you put it out there and then you've got a ton of fans like supporting you, and then they can't really ignore that at the end of the day. And they can't also ignore your talent.
Good to have you guys again on Table Talk. On the show today, we're looking at three spectacular women who are trying to break barriers, break the bias as the hashtag goes, but in not a very conventional field. We're looking at three women who are rappers, who are in the hip-hop genre, trying to break what is predominantly a male bastion, and also we're looking to find out whether, this is an area where, as a lot of people say, there's violence, it promotes aggression amongst people. So we're trying to find out how these three lovely women have got into the field of hip-hop. Joining me, rappers, songwriters, a fantastic journey, a little off the beat actually. Well, there's the beat in the music, but let me begin with Irfana. What is it that, decided for you that this is a journey you want to take? I mean, hip hop is a genre that is predominantly, focused on men. It's when we listen to it, there's a lot of different connotation in the sense that there's aggression, there's violence, So, what was it that actually convinced you that this is something that you would like to try?
Poetry aspect of it, as well as the social activism aspect of it. Plus, it's just a really fun genre. I'm sure Ish can also relate. It's really fun to rap and write and, perform and things like that. But mostly I like that it's political, and I love writing poetry. So those are the main reasons that I decided to choose hip hop as my path.
And you, Ish, what was it that motivated you, in a sense, to take this?
Actually, mine is also quite similar. So I actually started writing poetry at the age of 9, and by 13 I started listening to Nicki Minaj. She came into the picture, and then I thought, why not convert the poetry into rap music? Let's get into hip hop. And it was filled with men around, so I thought, why not explore this?
So when you talk about it was filled with men, which is what we see as well, what was the reception for you when you started to, dabble with this?
When I started, actually, I was very young. And so I met couple of rappers in my school, and I started a group with them. And the reception, I would say, there have been different people. So some people have been very supportive, that, okay, you are a female rapper, let's support you. But I've met some people in the industry who have been like really against it. Like, okay, you should only sing. You should not get into rapping. If you want to do a song, maybe get into singing. Start singing, learn singing, do that. So, yeah.
So, I mean, I guess reactions that you anticipated, right?
That's right.
I was like 12. I was in sixth standard. So I was going through YouTube on my sister's phone, and the next song that got in the recommendation list got played, and it was Lose Yourself by Eminem. So like, it was something new to me at that time because I did not know anything about rap genre. But I vibed with it. It was like something cool, and I literally searched the lyrics on Google, like how it goes, what is the biography of Eminem, how did he start it. and what motivated him to start this. So I kind of like got myself into this thing, the rap and all. And then I was like, what if I started writing on my own, Let's give it a try. And whatever was happening around me at that time, I started rapping about that. So like the journey started from that.
Fantastic. All of you are writers as well, right, Irfana?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all writers, I think. Yeah.
And what is it that motivates you to write? I mean, as a writer, I can tell you that when I write a book or when I write a piece, I see a lot of what goes on around me, and it always shows in my writing. Is that what shows in your writing as well for the songs, or is there something else going there?
With writing, I think only after I joined college and studied political science that my writing really became politically heavy. But before that, I was mainly just writing creatively. Poetry in general. It was observations of things that were around me, but not really anything to do with politics or social activism and things like that. It was just romantic poetry and things like that. I just like rhyming words mainly. So it just started out creatively as something that was just natural, I guess.
What about you, Ish? Was there any activism in your writing, or was it also, just you just started writing one fine day?
It didn't come until 2019, I would say, 2017. Yeah. That is when I got really tired of male domination in the industry. And so I decided to write about that. But before that, I was just writing about my teenage life.
And did that kind of get any reception? What is it? What kind of audience are you looking for, Ish?
I basically am looking for people who love Punjabi music, one. Two, are supportive of female rappers and they like to listen to female rappers.
Mehak, what about you? What kind of audience are you looking at? Is it predominantly the Kashmiri youth?
No, 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 no. I'm not looking just specifically for the Kashmiri youth, but I want to, be the voice to the voiceless and not only sing about my own story, like, sing about those as well who don't want to come forward in this case and in this field. I want to be the voice of them as well.
So, what really is the music scene like in Kashmir, Mehak?
So it is like hip hop is like growing in here these days, and mostly it is a male dominance thing. So, but I'm the first female rapper of Kashmir. I'm like breaking the stereotype and bringing the change so that, many more female rappers would come forward and showcase their talent because obviously we don't have so many of platforms in here. So, and also people have like very conservative thinking, like why would women go in this field? It is mostly like a male dominant thing. And also the male rappers, I must say that they are not even getting like a great platform in here. So it is like something new to them.
Irfana, what about you? The whole male domination thing that we speak about. Have you faced it?
I get a bit nervous just because there are a lot of men in the industry, but I've never really felt like it was something. I mean, I keep hearing this thing, female rapper, female rapper, female rapper, but it's like I write,
Just
you know
a
what I
rapper.
mean? I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper, we're all just rappers. But like if you wanna pin us down as female rappers and tell us that's why we have the advantage, then we're gonna take it, like.
But Irfana, so tell me, what about family? How did they, accept your decision? Or was it something that just came along the way slowly, you just got into it?
Yeah, family, they've always been supportive of my writing. And also I've always been encouraged to play music. But when I got into hip hop, obviously there's that performative aspect of it as well. There's a lot of swearing, there's a lot of crassness with my music a little bit here and there. So in the beginning, obviously, like family was like, bro, write something, pretty, and like nicer and things like that. But right now, my entire family is in full support of it, I guess, because over time they realized she likes what she does and we're happy for her. And as long as she's happy, we're happy. I'm Muslim and things like that. So there's like a lot of other connotations that are there, subtly here and there. those are things that I have had to battle in the past. But I mean, I'm blessed with a good family. I think after years of struggling and trying to make them see what I see in hip hop, now I get like family members sending me numbers, sending me contacts, just constantly rooting for me, and it's the biggest blessing I could ever ask for, you know.
Is that Ish? Is that a stage you reached as well?
That is right. In the beginning, my family did not support me a lot. They thought they actually took it very lightly. So they thought it's just another
Yeah.
hobby, and I started shooting videos at the age of 15. So they did not take it very seriously. And so they had this thing that academics should be completed no matter what you do on the sides. So that way I still have double degrees. I'm still studying right now, and I had to prove myself that way. But my mom started managing me at the age of 15 itself, so my mom has been my biggest supporter till now.
Oh, that's good to know. Always a blessing, as Irfana also said, if you have the family on the side, right? Mehak, what about your experience?
So, like, it is the same with me as well. Like, in the beginning, they were not very cool with it. They were like, why are you even doing it? Like, they are not, they were very conservative about this. They were like, there are not many platforms for male. What are you gonna do in this field? And they were like, very concerned about this idea of like, what would people say? Log kya kahenge? Don't do this and that, blah, blah. But I was like, I have to do this. If I started doing this, like I am the first female rapper, I have to do this because I have the potential to do something in this field. And like, believe in me, I'm gonna make you proud. And then they were like, cool with it. Okay, if you're happy doing this, you can.
There are two aspects to it, Irfana, Ish, and Mehek. One is, of course, the family and the family support. The other is to break through into good platforms, the kind of professional support that you require. Irfana, has that been hard?
I've only been doing this for a little bit more than a year. And in the beginning, the first EP that we dropped, the entire of last year was basically us just promoting our music, and some professional support was there. But I'm only really seeing professional support this year. And that also, I mean, I guess it's a long way to go because my labels and my management, they've been extremely supportive, but also to break through, I think I have a long way to go. I think there's a lot of factors in terms of getting the masses to respond to my music, especially because it's in English. And I don't know, there's a lot of factors. So I don't think I've reached the breakthrough point yet. I think the professionals that are supporting me at the moment support me pretty well. But I'm still learning.
Ish, you've had a longer, start in a sense from what I can gauge. What was it like for you? Have you reached a point where you're satisfied?
Well, for me, it has already been 13 years in the industry. And when I started, nobody supported in the industry, nobody at all. And it was difficult to reach out to people, even for collaborations, even to know if they're interested in giving music in my song. So it was difficult. And throughout my journey, I found some rappers and music producers who supported me, some journalists, and people along the way came in who were in support, but they were very difficult to find.
Mehek, how does it go for you then?
I don't think I'm satisfied yet. Like, I have to prove so much as I know myself that I have so much of potential. So I'm trying my best every day to showcase it.
So how do you go about it?
Like, I'm doing regular practices, writing, keeping myself busy in the studio,
Irfana, of course, we've spoken about the fact that it's predominantly considered a male genre in a sense, but does that factor bother you on a daily basis anymore, or is it something that you've seen a little bit more acceptance around it now?
It's slowly starting to accept females in the industry, I'm sure. But just in general, I think being in a place with a lot of men around would make any woman nervous. I think that's the main aspect of it. So yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that we as women have to like battle in any field, in any industry, I think, not just hip hop. But with hip hop, what we do have is a voice that you have to listen to, So in that way, I feel like a breakthrough is a lot easier than in other industries, because you put it out there and then you've got a ton of fans like supporting you, and then they can't really ignore that at the end of the day. And they can't also ignore your talent.
And I think it's fortunate that, these times at least social media can be harnessed in a positive way to promote yourselves, possibly much better than what somebody in your state would have been, unable to do, say, about 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But Ish, tell me, is that a battle that you think is still to be fought when it comes to, the acceptability for women?
I mean, we've come to a point where there are commercial women rappers in India as well. So we've crossed a huge road, but yeah, there is a lot of path to cave in yet.
Mehek, what about you? How do you, does it demoralize you sometimes?
Like, when you're doing something out of the box, when you're doing something extraordinary, you're going to receive a lot of criticism, and obviously from your own people, and that is what dismotivates me sometimes. But I gotta stay up and stay high.
We all gotta stay afloat. I mean, we're all getting our fair share of criticism by the day, and I think that's the other side of social media and the accessibility of it. Irfana, does that demoralize you?
Yeah, I do. Just because it's not like another job, right? Like it's high risk, and you never get paid enough for the amount of work that you put in. So it can be taxing emotionally, it can be taxing physically, it can be taxing spiritually. So yeah, a lot of times I think like maybe I should just quit and move on, but then I love what I do, and I don't think as artists we can do anything else, so sort of our fate to stick to it.
Ish, what about you? Has there been a moment where you've said enough is enough?
Definitely has been a moment, but I think it's a very slow ride for musicians, and we have to stick still. Otherwise, we'll just get demoralized very easily. And see, getting fame and reaching out to masses is always difficult and takes a lot of time. But I like to do a couple of other things alongside so that I don't feel like I'm not able to do anything, right? So that is how I keep my sanity.
But also, I mean, I know that this is for the love of music and all that, but there is, of course, sustaining a lifestyle. Is that problematic to begin with? How long does it take to get stable in the industry?
There are years where you have a lot of shows where your songs are really hit, then you hit a downfall, and then you don't have shows at all. So you can't really say how much time it takes, but then for me personally, I like to have a couple of other mediums to sustain myself so that I don't fall down.
Meg, do you have a backup as well?
No, I don't.
So this is your single-minded focus?
Yeah.
Well, that's off to you. What about you, Irfana?
I did in the beginning last year, but now I'm all in. So I've dropped everything else out. It's like go big or go home. Now I don't have a choice but to make it.
Really rooting for all you guys. There's, so I wrote a book a year and a half ago, which also had a little bit of hip hop mention. It deals with teenagers in the country, and about the influence of hip hop on teens today. And a lot of children that I spoke with were, I kind of figured that the only thing that they were taking out of hip hop was the aggression and the violence out of it, the violent lyrics out of it. How do you separate this influence, Irfana?
As with any art, it's supposed to be cathartic. You're not supposed to take it literally. I think, Greek tragedies and comedies, you go to the theater, you watch those shows, and it's catharsis. Like you go and delve into it, you immerse yourself into it so that all these urges that you have inside of you are purged through immersing yourself in this art form that is directly giving you that release. So I don't think it's hip hop's, like you can't blame people for being violent because they listen to hip hop. It's just another art form. It's another expression. It's a form of catharsis. And
Ish, I'll ask you the same question, but with the caveat, then how do you make very impressionable children who are listening to rap and hip hop understand that there's a line here?
I think for me, I never related rap with hip hop with violence, because my lyrics and my music has always been very straight to the point. My mind was very focused that I want every age group to listen to my music. So that was my priority, and I never used swear words or anything like that in my music. And people often ask this question, and I literally don't know how to answer that, because I don't relate these two things. Aggression can be present in any person in any field. It doesn't have to be hip hop.
Fair enough. Mehak, what about you? Do you kind of separate and put a line there
See,
mentally?
I personally think like rap music is all about being true to yourself and expressing yourself. So, like, you can freely talk about all the problems that you face, whatever is going around you, like social or political or your own life, and venting out your emotions and venting out your anger. So, no one can blame that rap music is all about violence and guns and all. Uh, like we are obviously talking about our own selves, like venting through our emotions through pen, and we're not doing it physically, we're not punching you in your faces, right? So that is very lame when someone says like rap music is all about violence.
Yeah, but when you're speaking about it, you may have a different agenda, but the person who's listening to it, a 13, 14-year-old may get different ideas.
Yeah, but it all depends on their parents. They must be the judge of it. They should like let their parents know about rap music, because we
Well, I
already
hope
put
this.
parents at we already put parents advisory in our songs.
Wait, where do you hope to take your music? What are your central themes that you want to just follow up, and how do you want more and more people to embrace what you are singing?
My central themes are usually politics and spirituality, and I also have a little bit of like fun stuff going on. And I don't know what I want people to take away from it. I hope people can take whatever they want from it, honestly. And it's difficult for me to say. Look, like being a rapper from India, I have a very, very small niche as an English rapper in India that I can't really reach a lot of the masses. So it's really up to me to make music that people can relate to. I don't think I have a thing that people relate to that I can make music for. So that's a whole different journey that I have to. And just, yeah, I don't think we can blame hip hop for 13, 14-year-olds getting violent. It does come from the home. It comes from many different factors why kids get violent in general, like video games, movies, hip hop. Not the cause. There's other internal issues that they need to talk about.
You spoke about, the masses. It isn't the barometer for any success is, reaching the masses. But then
Yes,
there's
and that's
always
why I
that.
make commercial music.
That's where I was coming to. I didn't want to quite say that, but
And nothing wrong with commercial music. I actually love it. Like I like writing commercial music. It's just my own like music that I don't, do for movies and things like that. Is niche. There's a quote about artists who make art just for themselves. It's just like another form of masturbation. Like it's just to pleasure yourself. Like we also want to make music for the masses. We also want to make music that everybody, can understand and relate to. I really enjoy it, and it also pays the bill. So I don't think there's anything wrong.
a lot of people, Ifana, have been asking about your influence from South. I was actually reading as well that you're not actually from Goa, and you come from was it Kodai? I may have gone.
I'm from Kodaikanal. I'm not from Goa. I moved here.
Does your music have any of the South Indian influence? A lot of people want to know that.
Yes, so now is when I get to plug my latest release, Southside Menace, and that has a bunch of southern influences, especially the video. It's got a lot of like, South Indian gangster shit going on over there. So yeah, I rap Tamil Nadu, Tamil culture in all my music. So
Ish, how do you balance reaching the masses or sticking with your soul?
Sticking with the soul for sure. Some commercial music side by side, yes, because of course it pays the bill, like Irfana said. But yeah, sticking to the soul is very important for an artist. Otherwise, creativity doesn't come out. It is very important. And for me, I want my music to hold a place so that people know that female rappers are worth it.
So do you want to some sublime level perhaps want to be like an role model for today's girls who are looking to enter any field actually? Why just music?
I mean, yes, why not? I mean, I want to tell everyone that you can enter any field as you like. There are no barriers anymore.
For all women out there, for all girls out there, do what makes you happy. I was reading as well, there's Carnatic music, and you've got a very varied background for music. Has that helped you? Did you actually start by thinking, oh my God, this really can come in handy?
I haven't used any of my classical music training in my commercial music as of now. But yeah, I play a couple instruments, Western classical trumpet and Carnatic veena and things like that. So I'm hoping to infuse those in my music in the future. But as of now, it's just rapping on beats.
And does Bollywood figure in your agenda, any of you?
Yeah.
Height of being commercial, though, doesn't it? But, well, maybe one day, never say never, right? Okay, ladies, I think I'm going to leave you both to this. And more power to you, more power to your music, and keep going. Thanks so much for
It was
joining
lovely.
me.
Thank you for having us.